Welcome, everyone, to Analytics Are for the Nerds. We are in week 27 of the year, and it's National Fried Clam Day. Let's go.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
I don't believe it. I'm Googling it right now. I don't believe it.
Oh, you can Google all you want.
It is national. But wait, I don't even know if I've had a fried clam. Have you?
I know a lot about you, and I feel like you have. A lot.
I love that's rude, one, but two, not the rudest thing you've said in 10 minutes. I get, Brad, you weren't here. I get on with this Allie. I go, hey, am I looking hot today? And she goes, you look like you. I mean, it's like, I'm glad we're such good friends.
No,
National Clam Day. Thanks for
Ryan
those who participate.
Ryan kind of looks like a cool Catholic school, like middle schooler right now with a collared shirt. Very cool. I mean, everyone's you guys are so cute.
It's just a polo, you know. I don't know. I guess I am embracing my my Catholic school past. So you nailed it. Honestly,
right?
you called it out.
Oh, that's good. I'm excited to see you guys. I wasn't here obviously last week, but yeah, Louie, you look great. Ryan, look great. Happy summer.
I appreciate it. I have a clock story. So today I was like, what if today's the day? Right? I go, today's the day I go get the fucking battery and shock them. And I would have waited till you guys noticed. And I know, Allie, I know you would have noticed. So but remember last time I brought it down and checked to see the battery. It was some battery that I've never heard of. And I was like, I'll think about it later. So today I take it down and go, let me see what type of battery this is. Maybe I could go search it down before the podcast. So I bring it down. And turns out it's just one AA battery. That's all I needed. It was not anything complex. Okay. But you'll see that it's still 1012. And that's because I left it down and said, this is going to be great. This is all I've needed this whole time. I'm going to go get a AA battery. I'm going to come home, put on, tell this cool story while it's the right time. Came home after a couple of espresso martinis at our local establishment and forgot the batteries. So still 1012, but we're working closer because now the goal is more attainable. So
look at you.
You know how to do it now. I was just doing
we're good.
It's great.
We're good. One AA. That's all it was.
That's all. Huh. I have extras if you need me to drop meet at the park. It also sounds funny. It does sound funny to meet at the park.
Thank you.
And then Ryan, everything good with you? Anything fun to report?
No. Just got my birthday coming up, right? That's exciting. Gonna do a little golf. Maybe hang out with Louie and maybe you, Allie, if you want to come meet us out. We'll get some drinks. But yeah, it'd be nice day.
You'll be there.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, sure, I'll be there.
I'm free Saturday if you guys are still doing anything Saturday. But well, happy from all of us nerds or non-nerds. Happy birthday, Ryan. We're happy you're here. What do we say to that? That's good. We have an exciting guest today, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Mike Leone. How's it going, bud? How you doing?
It's going good. You know, I felt mocked during the intro with all the nerd references. I see how it is, Louie. I didn't realize it was your birthday, so happy birthday.
Thank you.
And it's also National Fried Clam Day. Don't forget.
Yeah, I heard that.
When I did think today about the draft or what draft we can do, I was like, I had to look back at the drafts we've done it with Leone before, and I feel like we're friends now, Mike. But I feel like when we first had you on, I don't know if we're at the friend level at the point where I was like, we're gonna draft the biggest nerds because Leone is on there. And that kind of, I feel like that would have been hurtful, and I'm glad that we've pushed through that and our friendship is still intact.
I love it.
All right.
I did like Louis before when we were setting things up, said Mike's not boring. And I was like, I don't know. You know, you pull me on a podcast to not talk nerdy stats and to talk like pop culture references. You know, I'm the stereotypical mom's basement in the spreadsheet. So we'll see what I come up with.
We got
just
some
mute
nerdy
you,
stats we're gonna need for sure.
yeah, we will need your stats. But if you just all of a sudden get muted and no one responds to you while you're talking, then you know you're in trouble. But no, you're gonna be great. We're excited to have you on. We love the nerd stats. And yeah, we've got some exciting things to announce on July 14th. Analytics for the Nerds will be at Fatty Beer. We're going to do a live podcast there, which is pretty cool. Starting at 1 p.m., we're going to do the Scott Fish Bowl. Mike, have you ever done any of the Fish Bowl drafts? Have you done that before?
I have not live. I have online the past few years, but this will be my first live one. I attempted to help podcast the one that was live last year in Buffalo, but didn't participate. So I'm excited. As usual, I forgot to sign up, and Louis managed to wrangle me into the draft. I was hoping to get in, and I just missed the sign up. So then I was able to work it out.
Who would have thought a couple of years ago it was going to be Louis G saving Mike Leone's ass when it comes to the fantasy
On the tables and turns.
circles, huh?
Well, everyone, please join us, and we'll be there at 1 p.m. Mike, are you going to be stopping by?
Yes,
Okay,
I'll be there.
Okay,
I'll be there drafting live. So I'm excited for it. I was looking at the scoring changes stuff. I know the return yards seems to be the big one that I've seen people talk about, especially with the rule change. We're going to get a lot more return yards. So last year that change might not have mattered much, but this year with the real NFL change, encouraging kick return stuff, it's going to force me to look up kick return stats. Usually I just ignore the kickers and the special team stuff, but I think it's actually going to matter this year.
So I did a mock with Fantasy and Frames a couple weeks ago. Shaheed went in the third. Mims went in the fifth. So people are taking it seriously. My point, Mike, and I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on this, is that I don't think that people should be betting on these guys preseason depth charts, because I think it's going to be such a change in the league. I really think this is going to be the best thing that they've ever done, to where after 3-4 weeks, when Tyreek Hill is sitting on the sideline watching no guys get hurt, watching guys break these big returns, he's going to be like, I want to do that. I see some of the big names wanting to get into this return. So I think that I don't think you could project which guys are definitely going to take that role, but I do think it's fun to project which guys have that athletic ability to want that role come mid-season. A Tyreek Hill could easily be the 1-2 in this format, I think, in even though it's super flex. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm in line with you. If you take Marvin Mims in the fifth and then he, for whatever reason, isn't returning kicks, that's going to be tough. That's going to be a big hill to climb. But, just looking at the return yardage leaders last year, you get a lot of players settling in around 400 yards, which by itself is, pretty significant when you compare it to 1 point per 10 yards receiving. And this is 1 point per 5 yards, I believe, kick return. So even with last year's stats, I guess I was kind of wrong. I said last year might not have mattered, but I guess I'm kind of wrong there, because that's equal to what, 800 yards rushing or receiving, if I'm doing the math in my head right.
100%.
So, and we're expecting that to increase this year, those return yardage. We could see people, there were a couple guys over 500 yards, but we're probably going to see a handful of players now over 500 yards, which is equivalent to 1,000 yards rushing or receiving. So yeah, I'd still be careful with guys where you're solely drafting them that early for the return stuff. But yeah, that's pretty significant.
Mike, the one thing you can't do on this podcast is ask Louis to check the math on any of the numbers.
But did you see how confidently I was like 100%?
Oh yeah,
I did like a kid with a GED that got his way through college, and I did. But yes, I did that very. I'm like, that sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think I'll probably tend to be more conservative with not trying to take the big swings on the returners, but I think it's going to be. I mean, if you can nail those picks right with the few players that both get time, or snaps at receiver or even running backs, right? I've been seeing running backs potentially getting these opportunities too. So, and with the rule changes like Louis is talking about, I don't even think we have an accurate measure of what to project for yards this year because it's a different system now. There are different rules in place. So it's going to be fun to watch. And I'm glad that it's going to be tested with Scott Fishbowl.
All right. Well, good luck, guys. I will not talk sports on the podcast that day.
You're having a reality television podcast right next to 3 drafts going on.
What if we get like hundreds of thousands of live streams that day on a Sunday? Everyone's like, holy shit. Yeah, so we'll all see you there. And if you're at Fatty Beer in Buffalo, stop by, talk sports with us. And yeah, all right. Okay, so I'm going to preface this with my everything and nothing with Allie. With Louis was like, "Hey guys, great idea for the show tonight. Let's make it very long." And I was like, huh. I was like, "Oh no." So that makes it sound like I didn't do the assignment, but I did. It's just going to be very short. We're going to mix the pop culture and he said 90 minutes, guys. That's a lot. That's like a Lord of the Ring. Yeah, it's very long. So
Mike's like, I did not sign up for 90 minutes. We won't go 90.
Oh, no, we're not going 90.
We're not going 90. Don't worry, Ellie's in charge.
Yeah. I just start doing this. So I just wanted to talk about, okay, pop culture and sports. 2 very famous football players got married this week. One is Christian McCafferty and Olivia Culpa, who was former, I believe, Miss Universe. And then Dawson Knox and his new wife. And that's really all I have to say about that. I just think it's nice. Summer of love. It doesn't sound like I did not do the assignment. It sounds like I did the assignment.
No, but I could play off of that a little bit because Justin Herbert and Kincaid were on Instagram together at a wedding, but spoiler alert, not Dawson Knox' wedding. Oh, did he not get the invite? Did he have to tell Dawson, hey, one of my better friends is getting married? That's the real thing we should be talking about here.
The other thing, and then now you
tight end room.
Also, Joe Burrow was at someone's wedding a couple weeks ago. Very single, apparently. I don't know what very single is. I think he should be single and then not single. I don't get why very is added. It's right. Okay. But so I don't know how that's gonna turn up on his team this year if he's a single Joe Burrow running around what that does. But let's start drama and say they were not invited to Dawson Knox's wedding. I like it.
Trouble in the TV room.
Yeah. Do you know the difference between single and very single? 6 vodka teas.
Oh.
It's the exact difference between the two.
Yeah, I mean, does it mean like you're very single means like you're not even open to dating?
I feel like it goes either way, like you're very single or is like you're like trying very hard to not be single, or you're trying to not trying at all. Like it's like one or the other.
It means you're an incel, right? Is that what very single is? Okay.
I'm gonna have to take that out of my game, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm currently very single, and then I didn't realize that wasn't what I was giving off. I thought I was giving off a better vibe there.
Just single. You're not single. You're good.
All right. Well, that's the whole segment today. I get it.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll be better. All right. So
retired housewife right now, so mad that you got your segment chair. Like, this is all I listen to this damn sports podcast for.
I mean, if the people out there want me to go into the new Real Housewives trailer that was released, I will. But I'll save everyone else. Unless Mike, are you a Real Housewives guy? Do you watch?
I don't.
Oh,
Sorry.
You're on the wrong podcast, dude.
I know. I tried to tell this to Lewis.
No, don't worry. It's all three of us, Mike. It's she's trying to push her agenda on us like a Jehovah's Witness.
I was in a Bachelor Fantasy League once.
Oh, okay.
Not quite Real Housewives, but
it's still something. And also this is what I was also going to talk about, but then I was like, no. Did you guys see that Ohtani home run and it hit a kid in the face?
I'm a 3-year-old and it's the best thing in the world.
Where's your hand, bud?
It's so great. Wait, keep talking about it. It's so good.
I mean, it's cool to be hit by Ohtani, though, right? You're like, oh my gosh, you're like,
yeah, that kid's gonna. One, I'm not saying it was so cool. Like the kid would have died, I would have known by now. So it's not like that happened, and that kid's gonna have that story for the rest of his life. I mean, he should have caught the ball.
He had to get some like good memorabilia out of that too, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Like someone signed something for him, right?
Yeah.
Like.
No,
they give him a helmet to wear at the next game.
Ohtani just gives him his betting advice from the. He gives him like a parlay winner.
Coastal Carolina.
He is 6 million short, so he's not really giving much merch out right now.
I feel like everyone's seen that, so we could go on.
So we're going to do the fun game of fantasy Scattegories. I'm going to give everybody a topic and then a player. Okay, and then we'll do the same topic but different players for the first round. The next round I'll give a new topic. You all will have different players. Does that sound fun?
Oh, it's always fun.
It's always
do it.
Yes,
Leone texted me earlier about how excited he was about it. He goes, I can't. This is the best segment I've ever heard of.
Okay, we're very excited then. So, because you're so excited, Leone, we're going to give you the first one. So this topic is going to be round one. It's Buffalo, and we're going to give you they're wide receivers, and we're going to give you types of candy. Okay, so first one up is Keon Coleman.
All right, Keon Coleman. I went with all candy I eat is chocolate. I don't eat any like hard candy or anything. So that narrowed down the choices for me. But I went with a box of Junior Mints, where sometimes you get a really great box, but sometimes you open that box and they're all smashed together and it's not what you hoped for. So that's what Keon Coleman, I don't know what box we're going to get.
Wait a second. What does a really great box of Junior Mints taste like?
Oh, no, I know exactly what he's talking about. Sometimes you get that one and they're just like meshed together.
Sometimes they're all together, but sometimes they're all solid, and that's a good box. You're not a Junior Mints fan, are you, Ryan?
No, I've heard them described as chocolate-covered toothpaste, and I feel like that's the most accurate. Like, it really is. Like now, every time you eat them, you're gonna be like, "Wow, it could be crust in here, and I could just be having a chocolate-covered crust." Like I don't know. Can't do it.
Crest is not a sponsor of Analytics Are for the Nerds. Just so
but Colgate, we are available.
Yeah, it is.
So when he said Junior Mints, I was like, is Ryan going to use that? Ryan, I'm going to give you Curtis Samuel.
Okay, so I might be treading in some difficult waters here with some candy credibility, but here's what I'm going to say. So I think I like Curtis Samuel. I think he's underrated. So I think an underrated candy is an Almond Joy. And listen,
it's so good.
They're so good. Thank you. And some people, apparently like Louis, don't like Almond Joys, and those people are idiots. And so just like some people don't like Curtis Samuel, they're like, oh, he's too small or he hasn't done enough. I think he's going to be a nice second, complementary piece in the Bills offense. And perhaps, I mean, it's tough to doubt my boy Keon Coleman, of course, but he could be the leading receiver this year in the Bills offense. So I like him a lot, and I like Almond Joys. So there you go.
Well said. Well said. Louis, I'm going to give you one of the most fun Bills players to watch on the field. I'm going to give you Khalil Shakir.
It's so funny that Leone used junior mints because I was thinking junior mints for Shakir for different reasons. More so is that like he's steady, he's small. It's a small candy. He's good, and and he's just, but he doesn't have that ceiling of being like you never eat a junior mint and feel like this is the best candy I've ever had. So I was thinking that, and I was like, I ended up going with Twix. Smaller, underrated, always consider. Like I never have like bit into a Twix and been like, man, this Twix is not good. Like that, I love Shakir with a Twix, and I think I think he needs to be. He's the best of the three that we just named, and I think that's fits my same thoughts on Shakir. I think Shakir is wide receiver number 1 at the end of the year. I'll even throw that in there.
Wow.
Not like in the NFL, guys. I saw a couple, but I think he's the best wide receiver on the Bills.
Yeah, I think he's really is a really fun to watch. And I'm actually surprised I didn't give Ryan Coleman, because I know he's such a Coleman stan. So sorry.
He's probably upset with the junior men's comp.
Sorry. It really crushed me. I mean, my God, if Keon Coleman is junior mints, we're in trouble.
So round 2, the theme for these players is round 10 underdog players. Okay. But I'm going to give you a player, and the theme is compare to one of your ex-girlfriends or partners. Right. So, Leone, I'm going to give you Zeke.
Oh, I get to go first again.
I like it. It's like causing some friction between,
Zeke's a good one for this prompt because him and the Cowboys are like rekindled exes. So I'm going to give more like a generic ex partner here, not a specific one to me, but kind of that partner where you've been away from each other for a while. There's not really a future, a lot of upside, but you kind of meet each other's needs in the short term here. So that's what Zeke is, especially for a fantasy team. I think, he's not going to be a world beater out there, but he definitely serves a purpose in the 10th round on those underdog best ball teams.
Great. Louis or Ryan, do you want to pick up Leone's girl, Zeke? Do you want to? What are we doing?
I'm staying away from Zeke.
Okay.
No, staying away.
Ryan, I'm going to give you Tyja Spears.
Okay. So believe it or not, I dated a girl who, just like Tajay Spears, also did not have any ACLs. So this goes out to Jessica. She had no ACLs.
That's good.
And God rest her soul. I think she's still alive, but she just doesn't have any knees. Like that.
Okay. It's good.
What's the life expectancy on someone with no ACLs? The way you're talking.
Yeah, I don't know. That can't be. It can't be good. It can't be.
Yeah. He's gooey like the inside of a junior mint. All right, Louis. Let's give you Blake Corum.
All right. Unlike these two married guys, they're trying to escape through getting in trouble in public. Let me tell you, I'm separated, and I can tell you the real answers. Blake Corum reminds me of this broad Melissa, and I'm sorry for saying broad, Allie. I know you're a woman and stuff, but listen, this girl was young. She came into my life when I had somebody. I shouldn't say. I need to say 19, right? I need to say 19. I'm not that young. All right, legal. And I wasn't.
Get back on the tracks, Louis.
Oh yeah, I know. I gotta slow down here. So, and I was with someone that I loved, Kyron Williams. I think that's it. And the first day I met this girl, I met her at a bar when she was with her parents. And so when you meet somebody at a bar with their parents, you at least assume that they're not there underage. I was just assuming at least 21. right? Like, no, Brian, you're judging.
Why would you assume that if they're with? I feel like I would assume they
would you
are.
ever go to Would you ever go to a bar with your parents when you weren't old enough to drink? Like she was like drinking with her parents as a 19-year-old. I thought that was maybe not. I thought, oh, she's maybe it's her 21st birthday.
Maybe that's right.
Long story short, the girl falls in love because obviously there's this charisma, the hair, and all that. And
I thought you were about to count the hair, and then you just
yeah, I was like,
there wasn't a number 2.
There was no number 2. I was hoping Allie would pick up on that, but Mike's like, no, there was no number 2. Anyways, she liked my hair. And I was lucky enough that the parents left us there. So I was like, oh, it's all good. She's old enough to hang out with other respectable adults. We go home, and then when we get home, she tells me she's only 19, and her father that I had just met is a police officer in the town that we were staying in. And this isn't cool. So at 2:00 in the morning, I get a knock at my door. I swear to God, this is 100% true story. And I open the door, and it's him, her father, with another, like he was off duty with 2 cops next to him. It was like, Louis, I'm not mad at you. I'm just going to bring my daughter home, and you and I will talk about this in the morning. And they left, and I was like, was seriously, like, my heart was racing. And then I shut the door on them, and I get back upstairs. I'm like, wait a second. You mean I got to fuck this girl's daughter and I didn't have to drive her home? This is amazing. How did I get it? Was 2 wins in one day. And so Blake Corum is going to be not.
What is this name, Blake Corum?
Young, sexy, and he's got a cop for a dad, so he's not gonna last long, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, all right. I like he's not there.
We did date for 2 months after that. It was Sunday dinners were a little bit awkward at the house, but we did date for 2 more months. And then she cheated on me on Valentine's Day.
Really? This is a tough story, man.
This is tough, man. Tough. Like I'm just actually, this is more of a therapy appointment for me. But yeah. Valentine's Day, who cheats on somebody?
So I gotta say, you guys brought up Blake Corum. I did catch everybody roasting my Kyron Williams trade with Mura.
Oh yes, and we would have brought that up. But go ahead, please do that.
So
what do you think?
Kyron's going in like the 3rd round in redraft leagues. I'm trying to win this year. It was a fine trade. You guys have lost your minds.
It was Kyron Williams for who? Remind us.
Jonathan Brooks.
Okay. So justify it 3 weeks later. Like you feel good with it still? You don't feel like you...
I feel good with it where my team's... I mean, I got the guy who's going in the 3rd round in redraft versus the guy who's going in like the 8th or 9th round. So I feel pretty good about that. I mean, obviously it's a dynasty league, but
yeah,
Well, I think I can respect that, and this is also a league where Mike is the champion, the incumbent champion, right? And so if he wins 2 years in a row, the league ends, and he gets a side pot of bonus money essentially that's been put aside each year. It's as part of your entry fees for each year, so it makes sense to try and go for it now. But that I think is why I would with the CeeDee Lamb trade, though, right? I mean, it's the same premise, right? So. Neighbors is going a couple of rounds later. I was surprised that you'd be willing to move Lamb when I think he's a win now piece.
Yeah, no, you're right. If I knew I was going to be able to make the second trade with you, I probably wouldn't have made the first trade. It's kind of the time. Although I was only able to get Brooks because of the extra picks I got, pick I got from you in the Lamb trade. So it's kind of weird. But you're right. The Lamb trade, I probably should have maybe asked for a little bit more, but I got some rookie fever with neighbors, but
yeah,
you're right though.
Well, I did that too in trading away Breece Hall and Tyreek Hill to get the pick to get the chance to trade with you. So it all works out in the end. So,
all right, you guys just metaphorically hand shook. I liked that. That's very sweet. Very sweet. Okay, and round 3 we're moving on to, everyone. Our final round, which will be deep sleepers. We're going to give me bucket list ideas Let's go Zay Jones. Mike, if you want to do Zay Jones.
Yeah, I had a tough time because like what bucket list item matches Zay Jones, who is about as boring of a late round pick as you can get, but he's fine. So I guess I would say like this is like a day trip to Toronto or something, you know, like it's nothing. It's a great trip. It's one day, but is it really like a bucket list item, or is it just like any other trip you could go on?
It's like that restaurant you've never tried. That's like that's so funny.
Good, I like it. Did someone just break into your house? I just heard glass break. Ryan, we're gonna give you Jalen Hyatt.
All right, so Jalen Hyatt. All right, so if Zay Jones is if Zay Jones is a tough bucket list idea, I feel like Jalen Hyatt is also kind of a difficult one to come up with. But all right, follow me on this journey, okay? So I was recently doing some research on Jalen Hyatt, right? And there's this story about he is having a hard time gaining weight. Okay, so he just started eating a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, which oddly enough, I just saw the first episode of Hard Knocks last night, which is featuring the New York Giants, and Joe Shane, their GM, is also eating a bunch of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So I don't know what's going on downstate right now in the New York tri-state area, but there's a lot of PB&Js going on. So I don't think this. So I guess Jalen Hyatt, to get his weight up, he's trying to just eat a bunch of PB&Js, which that can't be healthy, right? There's got to be better ways to do it. So I think for a bucket list idea, I think we should set up a meet and greet with Gordon Ramsay, and we can have Jalen Hyatt learn how to actually put on weight healthy and maybe become a good football player. But it's not looking good right now. Unless we get this, like I don't think he's going to be a good football player. His legs are going to fall off. He's going to be eating too much sugar, and then we're not going to have Jalen Hyatt. So yeah, that's where I ended up.
That's that might have been that I think is my favorite round. So this is a really good.
I feel like he did such a better job than me. Like you turned Jalen Hyatt into, but I liked it. I liked the way you tied that together.
But day trip to Toronto is very funny too. I'm not joking. I have a peanut butter and jelly, some sort of mix of that for breakfast every day. So now I'm like, oh, is that why I'm at a plateau in my weight? Okay. Louis, you're next. We're going to give you Elijah Moore.
So I had this girlfriend named Elijah. No, I honestly, I got to give my bucket list for him. I think is tattoos, because every year I don't have one tattoo, and every year I'm like, you know what would be a good idea? I think I want to get a tattoo, and then I realize how bad of an idea it is, and then I don't do it. And I feel like Elijah Moore is that same thing. Each year I'm like, pretty sure I want Elijah Moore. Pretty sure I want him. Was he not good? I mean, I will let Leone, this is a conversation I have. Was that rookie year just not good? Was that just something that was off the radar there, or what happened with him, do you think?
You know, I think it was everybody collectively like wanted to get more excited than they should. Like how many yards do you think he had his rookie year?
Didn't he have 1,100 yards? Did he have a monster year?
He had 538 yards.
No way, really?
It was only in 11 games, and he had I think a really strong finish to the season. But wow. He was at 7 yards. It wasn't that good of a year. It was
wow. Okay.
A few really good games, and he was one of those guys that everyone was like, oh, this is the undervalued kind of rookie. And then he had that, and everyone was buying into him. And I get buying into him, I'm sure. I know I bought into him, but we probably jumped the gun a little bit. Like it was like an okay rookie year.
He reminds me a bit of Jahan Dotson in that way too. Jahan Dotson had, I think, a slightly better rookie season, but you know, it's the same thing. Second year production just kind of meh. And, you know, the historical comps just don't look good when you don't really break out by that end of the second year. So, I mean, who knows? But we're obviously hoping for improved quarterback play in Washington, but same sort of situation.
Well said.
I was waiting for you. You're like, well said.
Well, yeah, my dogs are barking at a ghost or something in my house. Great. Any hot takes from anyone else's pick or category? Anyone want to pick apart anyone's? We're good. All right. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the NFC West. I'm gonna ask if you guys give me a sleeper and a bust in the division, and then Mike, do you want to go? Oh wait, we're switching up?
No, just we want to do a sleeper and bust, but we're gonna rank like quarterbacks and flex tight ends too.
So we're ranking first and then sleeper bust.
Yeah.
So you want to do? Should we just start off with quarterback first? You want to do that, or just do?
And we're ranking for fantasy purposes, right? Not like
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. I feel like quarterback's pretty straightforward then. Kyler 1, Purdy 2, Stafford 3, Geno 4. I've got.
Yeah, I put Howell 4 maybe to be a little bit weird, but I don't think that's crazy. Is it crazy to think that Howell has more points than Geno this year, whether it be an injury or taking over the job? Like, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with Geno. I'll say that.
Yeah, I go back and forth with Geno. I also like taking shots on Howell, especially in the super flex drafts, early best ball. But yeah, I have it in the same order, and I think that Seattle, the split, the combination of Smith and Howell, if it even works out that way, I think it's still going to be pretty good. I like the Seattle offense this year.
Yeah. Running backs, anybody?
Yeah, running back, I feel like too, there's kind of a consensus here. CMC, Kyron, Kenneth Walker, and then Connor. I guess Connor versus Benson maybe is a question. I'd still put Connor a little bit ahead right now.
Yeah, I have Charbonnet in my top 4 because I think that even though Walker is good and has a lot of explosive plays, I wonder if an injury or something. I'm just betting a lot on Charbonnet. Maybe it's just the value you get at ADP, but I like him this year. I think he's going to end in the top 4. And then Louis, I know you're probably thinking Cora might be in that top 4 as opposed to Kyron, but maybe not. What do you think?
No, I actually did the same. I hate having Kyron second just because I'm down on him, but I still think you have to. And then 3, I actually have Benson, and 4, I have Connor, and I kept Kenneth Walker out there altogether.
You're crazy.
I'll probably talk why here very shortly as we talk about sleeper and bust. So I won't talk about it too much now, but I think I like Charbonnet more than I like Walker as well. I think it's a very small a small sample, but I do think that he's beat him in most metrics and could be the one that at least will get the more points. I'm definitely way more rostered in Charbonnet than Walker. And I think Walker more so is because of who's going around him. The wide receivers that are going around him. I just don't have a lot of Walker, but yeah, that's how I would go. So.
Okay, I'm not doing this on value though, right? Like just straight up.
Yeah, I'm doing straight up. I am doing straight up. That's why I left them both off, is because I still think that they're going to be where they take so much from each other that and neither of them are explosive to me, that I think Connor could, I know you like Connor and I understand that I think he'll do enough the first half of the year. I think Benson is going to be, league winner. Is he going to end? When is he going to end up taking over the job completely? And I know the reports came out today that Connor's going to get the whole first running back role. Like, go ahead, let everybody buy that news, and I'll keep on buying Benson.
Yeah, I like Benson better at cost than Connor for sure. So I'm not like that dissimilar for you. Just if we're ranking them raw, I think you got to lean Connor a little bit, but. Wide receiver, I'll go Puka, Marvin Harrison, and then I don't know, flip a coin between Ayuk and Debo at 4, which leaves at 3-4, which leaves Metcalf and Cup on the outside.
Yeah, I didn't do any. Go ahead, Ryan.
Sorry, I have it. Nakua, Marvin Harrison, Ayuk, and Metcalf.
Yep, that I have it the same exact way, and I don't think that any of us are, going to fight those very well. I mean, those could easily change with Ayuk being traded, obviously, beforehand. And then it is, I guess, one thing to mention here that we all had Cup outside the top 4, which I feel like that's pretty telling. But
well, I think it's more a reflection on how strong all 4 of those receivers are at ADP, right? I mean, these are all you're talking about. I mean, what's Metcalf's? He's going about 30 right now, 30, yeah. 20, 28, 30. So, I mean, yeah, they're just really strong receivers in that division.
100%.
All right, tight end. I've got McBride, then Kittle, then Noah Fant, then insert Rams tight end Colby Parkinson, I guess, there, 4th.
I have it the same way.
Same, not much to be said about it. Yeah.
And I use Parkinson as my 4th. He's fun right now. I mean, he's free. Do you want to make that? I mean, is it an offense that you want to make that stand on? I think so. I mean, Higbee's shown to give some good numbers. You got Cup declining. Are you how do you do that, Mike? Are you going to diversify that if you're saying like you're going to mix in Rams tight end late?
I'm just a little worried that like you've got Parkinson and even Davis Allen maybe splitting early, and then maybe Higbee's back for the end of the season. So you got to kind of guess right between Parkinson and Allen, and then it might not even matter if Higbee plays the end of the season. So I've mostly been avoiding it. Like if I have Stafford and I really need, an 18th round tight end, I might take a shot. I would probably take the shot on Parkinson out of all those guys, but I'm mostly just ignoring the Rams tight end for now.
You want to go one sleeper, one bust, Allie?
Yeah, guys, let's do one sleeper, one bust.
Sorry, I felt like you were looking at me.
Yeah.
Well, bust. I guess we left them all out of our top 4 receivers. I know Mira said that's more to do the strength of the top 4 receivers, but I'll say Cooper Kupp. Just given the wide receivers around him, we've seen some drop off for him. I know his target share was still really strong in the games he played last year between him and Puka, but with Puka having one of the best rookie seasons ever, and Kupp kind of going the wrong way age-wise, health-wise, he's someone that I'm a little bit concerned about in the middle of the 3rd round right now.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more on that. And mine relates to that, and that my bust is Stafford. I just get this feeling that the wheels are going to come off at some point with him, and I've had that feeling for a while. It's kind of like my Derrick Henry bias, right, from the past couple of years, just kind of waiting for it to happen, waiting for him to fall off the cliff, and he hasn't fallen off the cliff yet. And so maybe it won't be this year. Maybe I'll be wrong again, but it seems like a fragile situation, and just it feels like it's going to be a steep decline whenever it comes. So he's my bust this year.
Do you have him on? Do you own him on any of your teams? Right.
I mean, dynasty wise, no. Best ball, I have probably less than average exposure to him. Like I'm really not taking him at ADP unless I have Puka, and even if that's the case, I probably have another receiver that I'd like to stack with a different quarterback. So I kind of just avoid the Rams quarterback room.
Yeah.
If he's like at the 3-4 turn in an underdog draft, I'll take him because those are pretty wide receiver heavy, and that means he's slipped. But I'm not taking him ahead of, like I like the both Texans receivers like Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs a little bit more than Cooper Kupp, and Kupp's ADP is before those guys right now.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed. My bus is Kenneth Walker Jr. or Kenneth Walker's the third. I don't need to really explain that. Obviously, I left him out of my top four. There's a lot of reasons on it. I think Charbonnet is the better. I would have kind of wanted to put Charbonnet as 4-2, maybe over one of the Arizona guys, but feel like that room together will still produce really well, and I just don't think Seattle's will. That's where I'm going to go with my bus.
I'm the only one here who likes Kenneth Walker. I don't love him, but I think he's still like pretty high upside rusher in an offense that should be pretty good. And is he? I mean, I don't know. We're getting like 6th, 7th round Kenneth Walker. I'm still buying a little bit.
Yeah, I was early in the offseason. I'm just a little bit off him now. So
I love it. You guys, we're talking sports this week. Well, what are we doing? We're getting goofballs. What's happening? Those are all great speaks. I
we gotta get
appreciate
to the sleepers. Sorry.
Oh yeah, we got sleepers now. You said.
Yeah, we.
So I jumped straight to the bus because I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
which
he went straight to the bus, and then he didn't do both.
I mean, I like a good. Yeah, I think the bus are fun because it's like.
Yeah.
Let's make fun of the loser NFL player, right? The supreme. Let's start with Ryan. Let's hear your sleeper first.
So my sleeper is Blake Corum. I just think the opportunity is going to be there, even if it's later in the season. Look, to me, running back is such a volatile position, and so if you can buy one of the running backs in a Sean McVay offense that shows in the past that they really want to give one guy most, if not all of that opportunity, I'm just going to take shots on that, right? So especially where he's getting drafted in the 11th, 12th round. Like, so I love taking shots on him, and I just think he's going to produce. He's going to outproduce his ADP this year.
Mike, you want to go?
I'll go a little post-hype sleeper with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Year 2. Tyler Lockett's efficiency really fell off last year. I think we can see JSN emerge a bit more, and he's already talked about, I think his role is going to expand. They were using him, at least in the games where all the guys were healthy, they were just using him so close to the line of scrimmage and not really giving him anything downfield. So I like JSN, and the contingent upside is like pretty big if either Lockett or Metcalf go down.
I'm going to go with the same thing here. I love JSN this year. I mean, he got hurt. The Lockett point's great. I've also been making the Lockett point for about 5 years, and I keep on getting broke off of it. So hopefully this is the year. But no, I mean, the Lockett point's number one. But I mean, he started the year hurt. Do we really know what he was? He never really got a full chance to get moved into the offense. I still want to buy a little bit into the fact that Howell might be there, and I don't know if Howell's any worse than Geno.
Dude, I think Geno, man.
Yeah, I am. I don't know. I think Howell's the starter there by midseason and does well. But we'll see. But either way, I think JSN has a path to a lot more targets this year. He's got that little bit of like, we disappointed you in my rookie year value. And so I kind of like where he's going right now, and I'm clicking on him a lot. Probably at like 20%, which is one of my highest exposures.
Great. Very exciting. Look at this is good. Look at sports, friends. Sports. Great. So speaking of sports, we're this week we are doing our most embarrassing songs on your playlist. Now, I have a theory on music. I don't think I hold any embarrassing songs. I'm proud of all my songs. So just a word for the wise. If anyone calls out the Spice Girls, that's good music. That's not embarrassing. All right. Okay. Louis, could you generate the draft order, please?
Yes, I will. Ryan, number 1. Ooh. Louis, number 2. Leone, number 3. And Allie, number 4. One thing I did not tell any of you when I thought of the idea which I think would be fun, is just that if you sang one line of the song and see what we get. I feel like that's way better than trying. I was going to ask you, oh, maybe give me your list that you think your draft boards, and I would have some ready to queue up. But I think it will be so much better if you have to sing the most embarrassing songs on your list. So Ryan, with number 1, what's the most embarrassing song on your list?
Well, I will not be singing any of these songs. I'll tell you that right now.
Loser.
No, well, you can. That's fine. But I've ordered these in terms of how I would see them as being most embarrassing, right? I think I've realized that I do listen to a lot of embarrassing music, right? Or at least what I would perceive most people to be like, wow, why would you listen to that? So for the first pick, which is usually the most shocking, right? I have to go with Nickelback. I'll listen to Nickelback, and it's, you know, it's not horrible, people. All right. Everyone likes to hate on Nickelback because they think it's cool to hate on Nickelback. But I'm telling you what, if you have a nice Saturday afternoon, it's 80 degrees outside and you got to mow the lawn, put on some Nickelback. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So that's my pitch. That's my pitch of why you should listen.
Do you have a specific Nickelback song that's the most
No,
embarrassing?
not really. But like if it comes on, like, I don't know. I mean, the first one that's coming to mind is Something in Your Mouth, which is just hilarious. That is the first one that's coming to mind. My position is crumbling quickly. What is it?
I don't know. Wait, you really are Something in Your Mouth? You're like asking us? Ellie should know. Ellie's the music person.
That is an actual song.
Oh, so I own a photograph. That's so dumb. Also, when you're mowing your lawn, listening to Nickelback, how trash are you?
Oh yeah, very, very.
Are you wearing cutoff shorts? What is going on?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Why not? Why not?
Oh God.
When I thought about this draft here with the second bit, when I imagined this idea, I thought of, and I do this often, that time where you pull up to the red light, windows down, give that look to the person next to you, and immediately look away and roll your window up. And I think the one that I probably get caught with the most is my mama don't like you and she loves everyone, little Justin Bieber.
That's a good pick.
I love that. I listen to way more Justin Bieber than any 40-year-old man should. But that specific song is it. And I would imagine that I should be embarrassed for it, but I'm not. But Justin Bieber, Love Yourself, is my 102.
So Louis, when you set this draft prompt, did you know you were inviting on probably the most musically illiterate person that exists?
No, but this is great because now I can't wait to hear yours.
Me, I don't have a playlist. I'm a dog to be able to name 4 songs that exist in the world off the top of my head. We always joke on our Established to Run show, me and Drew Dinkmeyer, who did it, but like we're just straight robots. So I went with, not technically on my playlist, but I was trying to think of embarrassing songs that kind of fit the draft theme, and heard a little Mambo number 5 and kept thinking about my underdog draft exposures, a little bit of Monica, a little bit of Kyler Murray, a little bit of Dak Prescott. So I'm going Mambo number 5 with my first pick.
I like it's good.
That's a classic. It's
and 100% embarrassing for sure.
100%.
Yeah, it's good.
It is well, this is a good draft so far. So I'm going real like if you're in the shower and then your significant other's like, what did I sign up for? Like this is like my embarrassing songs. Yeah. So hope everyone's old enough to know these songs. Okay, so my number 1 most embarrassing song is Jeffrey Osborne's "On the Wings of Love." Now that's "On the Wings of Love." The only way. Okay, right? If you've ever been to like a supermarket that's like way too cold and you have to play a quarter for your cart, that's the kind of music. It's like, it's so bad. It's amazing. Okay. You know the song, right, Lou?
Yes, I know exactly what. Was it a commercial and or maybe a TV show thing
I
too?
mean,
Because I know exactly what you're talking about. But
it's like
you hear
the
it?
best worst.
We hear
It's
it
like
right now. Is that? Can you guys all hear that or no? Playing it
on
right.
the wings of love. Okay.
Right,
I'm doing a good job too. If you're like, oh, what's that? You know the song, you know. Okay, so that's my number one. I've got so many. Do I want to do that one or do I want to? Okay. So this is like a guilty pleasure embarrassing song because okay, yeah. All right, let's go with it. Because it's like I don't think it's bad, because again, I don't think any song is bad. But I am a not even closeted, I'm like a full-blown Huey Lewis and the News gal. And then I love Huey Lewis, and if this is it, it's so good. If this is it, if you're snapping, you're like, holy shit, stop it. And
No.
that's it's so good bad where you're like I'll have like a Nas song and then a Huey Lewis shuffles in, and you're like, oh my God. So anyway, that's I'll see myself out. All right, guys. All right.
I'm just trying to give you some audio.
Yeah. Adios, amigos. Okay.
It's back to me. I'm tapped out after my first one. That was my best shot. No, but I'll go here, and I can't sing, Louis, because me singing is just me talking louder. That's the equivalent of me singing. So we're not going to sing, but I'll go with the soundtrack from Six, the musical. I don't know if that's embarrassing, but in in the fantasy football world, I feel like musicals probably aren't high up on a lot of fantasy football players' playlists. So
Allie's so confident. He goes, "Yep, no, it is."
It is. Thank you, Allie.
I don't think they played that at Christian McCaffrey's wedding. So I think, yeah, that's a good point.
I I think my one that again I would be I'm gonna beat Ryan to this one because he might have been thinking this route, and I'm gonna go this route. Me and Ryan both have young daughters. My one that plays the most, unfortunately, like the DJ thing on Spotify that like you'll just hit play my favorite songs and it will play the ones you play the most. Well, the one that comes on right away is "Look at This Stuff, Isn't It Neat?" The Little Mermaid song. And I sometimes will not realize my daughter's not in the car and keep driving and sing the whole song. And that's all a little embarrassing. So I'm going to go Little Mermaid.
I love it.
Well, as someone who's constantly singing to himself the hot dog song from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse just all day long, I totally get that. So that is a frequent song. But I'm thinking more so for my next pick. It's not a song that, again, I think Ellie described it well, right? I think it's good music. This is a legitimately good song. But it is kind of like embarrassing if I'm listening to it because it's "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus, right? I mean, it's a club banger. It's a great song and reminds me of college. And I'll date myself by saying that, but it's just like so much fun, and it's a great song. My next pick is also about a club, and it's "In the Club" by 50 Cent. And if I'm listening to that song, it just doesn't fit. I'm not going to clubs. I'm not, popping bottles or anything like that. So, but it's a good song. Again, I think it fits in the same category. So 50 Cent, "In the Club," and "Party in the USA." Those are my picks.
Classic.
I would do anything to pull up to Ryan just playing in the club.
Yeah, in Louis' story about like how if someone is like if they hear you like listening to a song, like and you pull up and you just like look away, I also turn down the music if that's the case because I don't want them to know you're listening to it.
That's great.
Good. We're back. We're doing the back down, right?
Yeah, we should be back to
Still Louis, right?
Sorry, I apologize. All right, back to me. I'm going to do I won't sing this one.
Do it.
All right. What about I get so weak in my knees, I could hardly speak. I lose all control, and something comes over me. SWV, weak. Still makes me weak in my heart. You two youngins, I could see right now. You don't know.
I don't know what's happening.
Don't know anything about good music. Mira's too young for it. Ellie, did you know it, or were you just doing this?
No, I knew it. That's
SWV week got me through a lot of bad breakups in grammar school, and yeah, and I still blast it sometimes. So that's something. Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, back to me.
Yep.
So I'm the person that when they like make songs with like algorithms and they're like the mass public's gonna love this. That's me. I'm the, it sounds catchy. I don't really don't need to know the words. I'm into it. So this one, I know the words because they're very simple. In Sync, Bye Bye Bye, classic 90s. I'm going with that one.
Oh yeah.
I will say it's not a embarrassing song. I think it's a great song. So,
all right,
classic. That's
I got one. Yes, that's definitely embarrassing, and one. You're good.
We're going good. Yeah.
I'll take it.
It depends on where Justin Timberlake is falling on the "Do we like him" scale, right, of the week. I think it's good. So my this maybe is, again, all the moms out there will know this, but. Amy Grant's Baby Baby. Baby, baby, I'm taken with the notion. It's like such a, yeah, right? It's a, yeah,
I like it.
Like, I'm a big snap dancer, apparently. It is, it's so bad that now she just does Christian rock songs. So she really went from a Grammy to just don't listen to music. Like, it's bad. Anyway, Amy Grant, Baby Baby. It's like it's a bomb.
I feel like it transports me to like a Sears at the Eastern Hills Mall as a kid. Like, I feel like that's it's like department store. Like that song is double platinum at Macy's easily.
It's so I love it. It's embarrassing, but I think it's and then I guess I'm gonna close it out. How old's our average audience member? Because right now I'm pulling 58. So do I go?
You are an old soul. I wouldn't. I mean, we got some older listeners. I think you're the oldest, probably.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, I can go young or I can go old. I'm gonna go old. We'll keep it old. I'm gonna go Canadian legend Gordon Lightfoot. If you can read my mind.
I don't know.
Oh,
you can read my mind, love. It's a great song.
I know it, so it's embarrassing.
Oh wow, wow. Leone, yes. If Leone knows it, it's embarrassing to begin with.
It's a good song. She's a great songwriter. Does also the Gordon Edwin Fitzgerald, another great song. But yeah. Wrapped up. All right, I'll take fourth this week. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna close it out with "Call Me Maybe" by Carly Rae Jepsen. That's my final pick.
Good pick.
That's good. I still say it. Like,
that's probably you guys talk about, jamming in the car, turn the music down. You can see that one for me.
Is it me or Ryan?
Me, right?
You.
It's the same order we've been doing.
No, I get it. I get it. I'm having trouble.
You literally created the order. It's fine.
Maybe you guys want to hear about the espresso martinis before the show. I think, and I nailed on Ryan about this for not being specific with Nickelback, but I listen to a lot of Limp Bizkit, and it's a lot. It's a lot more than anybody really should. The Stardust on the chocolate hot dog or whatever that thing was called is one of my favorite albums.
Chocolate hot dogs, chocolate starfish and hot dog flavored water. Thank you very much.
I had it. I nailed it the first time, I think. But yeah, it's one of my favorite albums of all time. I still listen to it. and Limp Bizkit is currently touring with Corey Feldman. In case either any of you were wondering, and I will
100% yes, I'm in. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm in to go.
I'm into that
definitely
concert.
go.
Okay.
That was
Awesome.
no joke going to be my last pick was Limp Bizkit. I can't believe I got sniped.
That's crazy. Yeah, I was like thinking there was like a stage with like Limp Bizkit, I don't know, Kid Rock back in the day, and
yeah.
Oh yeah, Break Stuff. Are you kidding me? Great song.
You're not saying embarrassing songs. You're just saying songs that make me dry. So right, pretty gross.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, let me put on a backwards hat. I can really show you the Fred Durst.
Yeah.
All right, let's close it out.
To continue the theme of keeping Ellie in the same spot she's in.
Continue the theme of making Ellie dry. Here it comes. Here comes the Lady by Frank Sinatra. Sorry.
No, I actually think this fits because I feel like Ellie is not going to be a fan of this guy, so it totally works.
Okay.
My last pick, and again, it's just gonna be an artist because there's a lot of songs. I mean, I can't pick one. It's fine. It's an artist. John Mayer. It's a John. Are you a fan? Are you not a fan?
I will listen to John Mayer. I will call every girl. That's the first thing I tell a girl I date. Hey, if you don't like John Mayer, it can't work with us. I take 6 bubble baths a week. They are all accompanied by John Mayer. I'm not. I don't even want to have it. I'm not even going to put it on the poll that you said that because I'm embarrassed for you, honestly, that you would even think that he's embarrassing.
John Mayer even talks to John Mayer, Ryan.
Yeah. John. If you're embarrassed by John Mayer, you need to be more open about who you love in this world. Learn acceptance.
We're excited for all the fans to be like, oh, I love John Mayer. This is a great, and then we're going to pick Ryan that way because that's going on.
Yeah.
What I learned tonight is that Louie and I need to have a shared playlist because we're listening to all the same music. That's what I'm learning.
There's not many songs that also make this list, but the one that I was really battling with to add it was Mandy Moore's "Candy," which is an embarrassing song if you need to. Also, "Stars Are Blind" by Paris Hilton, another bop. Pure Prairie League's "Amy." I am aging out of.
Yeah, you are. The only one that I really was thinking about at the end was "Get Out of My Dreams" because I will rock the shit out of that anytime it's on. But yeah. But I don't even know if that's embarrassing. It's kind of great.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Anyone else have any honorable mentions? Ryan, any other good songs you want to promote?
No, just Pitbull and Ludacris. Who also on there? So,
Mike, can you name another singer?
I was just thinking, like, I made it through this draft. Now you want me to do honorable mentions, like.
That's great.
You're good. Well, thank you, Mike, so much for being on. Everyone, Mike is the director of analytics for Establish the Run, so check it out. Follow him. Yeah, you know what you're talking about. Let's just say that. So, thank you so much for being on. Everyone, thank you for listening to Analytics Are for the Nerds. We will see you next week.